Women, we can't be completely whole until we define ourselves to ourselves. That's the real truth. Hello, I'm Katie Gates, and thank you for joining me here on The Whole Agenda. Today, I want to discuss something that is running rampant in the workplace, and not just in the workplace, but amongst social circles, in church settings, at parties, in the home, any place that you can think of, it is happening and it is not a good thing. What am I talking about? What am I referring to? I'm referring to female conflict or conflict amongst women. And I know you're saying, really? Because that's what I said to myself. It's like I'm thinking, if I have to discuss this one more time, or if I hear this topic one more time, I think I'm going to, well, I'll let you fill in the blank, but you know what I mean. Unfortunately, in 2021, we are still dealing with female conflict. And not only are we dealing with it, but it's a huge issue amongst women still in 2021. Can you believe it? And it's not getting any better. It's getting far worse. Do the research, do the math, read the stories. My. Read the comments. It is amazing to me how we have so many women who are so insecure in themselves that they pinpoint other women trying to make them feel insecure. It's a real thing, and it's sickening to me. Like many of you, I truly thought that strategic movements were being made to empower women amongst women. I thought we were getting together as women and putting these strategic movements together to help one another, to encourage one another. But sadly, I'm starting to believe in the hashtags only and not the strategic movement. And that's a big problem because these hashtags are all over the place. Just go on Instagram and type in women for women and women empowerment, and you'll find hundreds of hashtags, 2020, 2021 at the end of them, and we're for women hashtags. And I'm starting to only believe the hashtags because I can physically see them. They're visible. But when it comes to the movement, I'm not sure that I can honestly say that I'm seeing things get better. It's the opposite of that. I'm seeing things get far worse, and not just myself. It's all over the internet, meaning that I'm not the only one paying attention. I'm not the only one experiencing it. Sad but true. So when it comes to conflict amongst women, whether external or internal, the number one factor causing the angst is insecurity. It all boils down to insecurity, whether we want to admit it or not. Because that word insecurity is like taboo. For a woman to sit and say, "Oh, I'm insecure." Oh man, that's like pulling teeth. Although she may be owning up to it. And not that she's trying not to, it's just up here that's not something that she wants to tell herself, making the problem even worse. So the number one factor causing the angst amongst women is insecurity, which later leads to jealousy and envy. That's very, very, very real. Insecurity, which later leads to jealousy and envy. And sometimes, most of the time, the woman that's insecure, that's having angst against her sister, the sister, meaning the other woman, has no idea why. She's just going on about her business, doing her thing, feeling secure, knowing that she has it going on, and not that she's conceited, but she just believes in herself. She's defined her being to herself. She's defined who she is to herself. So she's going on about her business, wanting the best for her sister over here, over there. And so she has no idea that there's this internal conflict going on or within the other woman or her friend or whomever. So that's a very bad thing. So on the one hand, For many women, along with societal pressures, the issue of insecurity stems from a sick world's obscured vision of what a woman should look like, dress like, and sound like. Just look at the world. Look at magazine covers. Look at what we're seeing on the TVs. Look at social media. Social media for a lot of women defines who they should be, how they should dress, what they should look like, what they should sound like, how they should write, how they should work, how they should interact with one another. Sick. So we have that on one hand, and then on the other hand, esteem issues develop during childhood, causing women to lack uncertainty and a positive self-image still today. So childhood happened, and we're today grown-ups, little girls to women, and there's a lot of women that are still battling wounds from childhood that have not been healed. That causes insecurity, uncertainty, and not a good self-image. So those are some of the reasons, if not most of the reasons, why there's so much animosity or angst or, hatred amongst women battling women. And so we have to get a hand on it. So in other words, women who feel inferior tend to judge other women without getting to know them. Without getting to know them. I'm telling you, while also comparing themselves to their beauty, talents, personality, and persona. So they're looking at this other woman, visually looking at her, not bothering to get to know her, but her outer or her outgoing personality or whatever it is that she's into really disturbs their soul, so much so to where instead of them seeing the woman for who she is or getting to know her or just being flat out happy for her, those insecure fractures that are internally tends to grow, widen. They just keep growing and growing and growing and growing. And like I said, the other woman who's over here doing her thing has no idea why. So 2 other common problems amongst insecure women are the insatiable needs to make secure women feel insecure and to feel ahead. Now, especially when it comes to feeling ahead, because I feel like you can't make a secure woman feel insecure. If you can, that means that she was not secure in the first place. So that one to me is, I don't really focus too much on that one. But what I do focus on is the insatiable need to feel ahead, because then that leaves me and many others with the question, why do you feel behind? If you have this insatiable need to be ahead, why do you feel behind in the first place is the question that you have to ask yourself and then answer, truthfully answer. I can guarantee you, if you can do that, you're more than halfway there, actually. More than halfway there. So, and equally, because of the insatiable need to feel ahead, insecure women miss the solution to their problem. You see, when there's a yearning to be ahead, it wouldn't be there if we didn't already feel behind. So that's why getting to the root of the problem is vital. Because if we never get to the root of the problem, like I said, those wounds are going to keep growing. And the feeling of insecurity only worsens and nothing ever heals. There's no healing that's taking place. And that's not a good thing, right? It's not a good thing. So what I've come to learn in life, ladies, what I've come to learn in life, and I'm sure that you have too, is that there's a root cause to every problem. Every problem has a root cause. Every single one. Even if you can't think of the cause at this very moment, when you get alone by yourself, I can guarantee you it will come to your mind. Every problem that we face here on this earth has a root cause. Every mental problem going on up here, there's a root cause behind it. That's why making identifying the problem vital to healing. So when we refuse to cut the roots, right? So when we refuse to identify the problem or cut the roots and destroy the seeds of the problem grows. Like I said before, it worsens. So how do we begin as women to identify the problems that's causing us to have animosity against other women, jealousy, envy, division, small talk, gossip against other women? How do we heal that problem, especially when it's not done in truth? See, the thing about an insecure woman, the roots are so bitter there that when she is talking about that other woman to other women, everything that she's saying is skewed. It's false. Because in her mind, that secure woman is causing her more insecurity, and she does not like it. It bothers her. It weakens her because, remember, like I said, she has this insatiable need to feel needed and to feel ahead. Because there's something about that secure woman that really, really bothers her. So if she's talking to her circle about that secure woman, nothing she's saying is truth. Because the mind in together up here, because there's so much insecurity in here and in here. And those are things that we have to focus. We have to work, deep to find out why. Is it from, things that happened during childhood, rejection, abuse, some type of physical, sexual abuse, or feeling alone, or, left out? There's so many things that happens to women or have happened to women in their childhood. I've been there, done that have happened to women in their childhood that causes them to be so uncertain of who they were created to be. Because like I said before, see, it takes identifying yourself to yourself. And then you have to believe that thing, right? And when you believe that, insecurity has no place to grow within here, because you already know who you are and you know your purpose here on earth. I remember writing in my first book, The Good Poet, it goes something like, created on purpose, with purpose, for a specific purpose. That means that if you were created, her gift is not your gift. You have your own gifts. All of us women are individuals. So therefore we have our own gifts, and they all work together for the good of this world, right? For the good of one another, to help one another. So healing is vital, ladies. Let's do this thing together. Let's heal together. It's vital to help one another, to truly love one another, to support one another. And something else that I want to say before we get to the 5 wonderful things that I've outlined to help us heal. Insecure women will not support a secure woman. Will not happen. And if it does happen, initially, it's something they start doing. And because the insecurity is so deep rooted, when they see the secure woman getting ahead, because remember, they feel behind. Getting ahead, that support stops because now they feel like, why am I going to support her? She thinks she's better anyway. She thinks she's all that in a bag of chips anyway. She thinks she's this and she thinks she's that, and she never has a problem, and oh, she's Little Miss Perfect. Some of the things insecure women say about secure women. Like I said, that secure woman has no idea what's going on, has no idea of the animosity or why there's animosity, because she just does what she does and keep it moving. So let me help us. I've outlined 5 things that we can start doing today as women to help us feel more insecure, more certain of who we are, and to get us healing. Let's go. Number 1, find time to sit with yourself and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Why? What causes me to feel so insecure? Wait for an answer and then deal with it accordingly. Number 2, understand that healing alone is not always the best answer. Sometimes healing alone is not a good thing for everyone. So professional help is needed. Don't be ashamed to seek professional help if you need to. Nobody has to know. It's confidential. I promise. I promise you, it's confidential. So seek professional help if you need to. Nobody has to know. Nobody will know. If you don't say anything, nobody will know. Number 3, keep busy. Find a hobby that you enjoy and get busy doing it. If you have hobbies and things that you're into, you don't have time to care about what someone else is doing over here, because you're too busy into what it is that you're doing. So find a hobby and get busy doing it. Number 4, make time for yourself. There's nothing wrong with time for yourself. Me time. Buy a new book. And you all know I love books. So buy a new book, like Between Seams. It helps with insecurity, I promise. Treat yourself to a spa day or dinner, or learn a new craft. Do that, twice a month, once a month. And the last step, define your goals. Write them down and begin to manifest. What do you want to do in this life? What do you think your purpose is? Even if you don't know, get a tablet. Start writing things down, even if it looks like chicken scratch at first. That's how many of us became writers. That's how many writers became great writers. That's how many people developed amazing businesses, mega businesses, because they started writing chicken scratch in the beginning. Later on, you'll see everything pull itself together to make one whole beautiful thing. So, define your goals, write them down, ladies, and start to manifest. So that's 5 things that we can do. I'm a woman too. We can do to help us get over the feelings of insecurity and uncertainties and, a lack of self-confidence or a lack of self-worth. Because believe it or not, it is in a lot of women. It's something they battle with on a daily. That's not a good thing, ladies. So let's do this. Let's heal together. So let me know if any of these tips above work for you, or any of the tips that I've outlined work for you. Let me know. Drop a comment. Tell me something. So cheers to healing. I'm Katie Gates. Thank you once again for joining me here on The Whole Agenda. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I love you all so much. Ladies, I love you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.